What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Bernardo and I've gotten multiple thousands of dollars of payouts, still in college, just turned 20 years old. And this is actually a breakdown of how I use fair value gaps in different ways to actually win more trades and just fit it all into my entire entry model. This is a more specific breakdown into the specific confluence of fair value gaps, how I use them. There's actually 3 ways. And I use them in different time frames to align my higher time frame narrative and bias with my lower time frame entry model. So in this video, I'm gonna break down every single step pretty much quickly. It should be a less than 15 minutes long video, so make sure you stick till the end. And if you enjoy and learn anything new, make sure you comment below W and like the video and subscribe. Now, before I do dive into this, these are the 3 things that I'm going to be breaking down, but I do have a free Discord community where we send out all of our trade analysis. It's not just me, but me and my team. This is exactly what it looks like. If you want to join, I'll put the link in the description of this video, but we send out our trade breakdowns every single day, why we take a trade recaps. There's a complete course if you want to get started for free, literally for free, and watch us trade live as well. And there's also free guides in here and things you can look at, but that's going to be in the link in the description. And we also have a 7-day free trial. If you actually want to trade live with us every morning and watch us trade for free, you don't have to pay anything. Just pop in, talk to us, have a conversation, ask any questions, and yeah, help each other out. Other than that, let's dive right into this video and break down what I use fair value gaps for and how I actually use them. So there's 3 main ways I use them. I always start my day using a higher time frame fair value gap for narrative and bias, because whenever you start a day, you want to know a couple of things. So the first thing you want to know is where are we most likely headed to? That's a very important thing. So where are we most likely headed to? That ties in with number 1 right there. And then another thing that you really want to know when you're getting into your day is where are we likely to manipulate to? This is incredibly important. Now, the third question would be, when are we more likely to manipulate? And I'm going to answer that question real quick for you, most likely at 10 a.m. So how I start, I use fair value gaps. I start off on the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame, okay? So using this gives me a higher time frame bias for the day. Using the 4-hour candle gives me the bias for that session, because if I but if I can be more than not short, if I can be kind of sure of where the next 4-hour candle is going to be headed to, then I'm more likely to take a winning trade if I pick that same direction that 4-hour is going to be headed to. Let me show you how I do this. Let's hop over into the 4-hour, and you can just type in 260. We're now on the 4-hour time frame. I don't use TradingView to actually trade. I use NinjaTrader, so that's why that popped up. And I'll be explaining fair value gaps as well here. So once I hop in the 4-hour, the first thing I actually want to do is, let me go ahead and delete this. First thing I want to do is check what the current trend is on the 4-hour. So we're going to use this trade that the team took the other day as an example. So if we go on the 4-hour right here, now that we're on the 4-hour, first things first, this is the day that we're going to be trading. I'm going to mark it out with a horizontal line here, a vertical line, my bad. And then we're going to mark it out right there. Boom. All right, 4-hour candle. We're looking at price before this level right here, okay? What are we looking at? We're obviously filling in this gap, and we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So for a couple of bounces now, we've had price go from down here. We made a high, made a low. We now made a new high. So now this has been confirmed as a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And now we're waiting to see if this is going to be a higher low or a complete reversal and break structure back to the downside. But I actually use fair value gaps to actually figure out where price is most likely headed to in this situation right here. And this is exactly what I did. Now, real quick, if you don't know what a fair value gap is, this is a super quick breakdown. I found this on Google. It's not mine. All credit to the homie right here. But basically, a fair value gap is the imbalance left behind from a quick move displacement to any direction. It can be up or down. It just depends how it's made. So it can also be any color candles on the outside, but basically a bullish fair value gap that is upwards is going to look like this. It'll be the gap between the first wick before the candle that caused the displacement and the next wick from the last candle that caused the displacement. It'll be this space right here. Size doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, guys. But it kind of just what mainly is important is what does that fair value gap do? Does it sweep liquidity? Does it take out a level of liquidity? Does it do something like that? And we're going to break that down in this video. And how does price actually react to that fair value gap? That's how we're going to be using it, mainly in the 4-hour time frame, okay? So let me break that down again real quick. We're already 5 minutes into this video. I'm trying to make this as quick as possible for you. So drop a like, boys. So let's go into the 4-hour. What am I looking for real quick? First thing, trend on the 4-hour. I'm looking for trend. Bullish. Great. We got our trend. We're bullish right now. That's the current trend on the 4-hour. We're bullish on the 4-hour. Cool. Now, what's next? We're going to identify every single fair value gap in that last leg, in that trend that we're currently in, okay? So what are we going to do? We got one right here. One right here. Boom. One right here. Boom. As you can see, we respect it. We wick it and respect it. Guess what? We do that at 10 a.m. as well. This is another setup right here. Oh, what are we going to do again? This candle right here. Boom. We got another fair value gap. Boom. Another one right here. Wick. How do we do it? From this wick. We do it from this wick to this wick right here. Drag it out. There we go. We tap back in. Wick, wick, wick. Bullish. We're super bullish because when we wick a fair value gap like this, it means we've completely filled the imbalance and we're not displacing to the contrary side, to the opposite side. We're ready to keep pushing forward. So we create an imbalance, retrace, fill the imbalance, so we rebalance the market, and then we go back up. That's exactly the pattern that we want to see on the 4-hour, okay? So what's next? We've already filled this one. Well, if we're looking to trade before this one, what is the next fair value gap? Obviously this one right here. Drag it out. Boom. Drag it out to this time. Okay. Now we have all of these. We see price is headed right here, so we can really remove these. These have already been filled. They don't really matter anymore. Price is already dipped into it, retraced. This fair value gaps also are how structure works. So bullish structure, we go up, we retrace, go up, retrace. So if we're respecting fair value gaps on the way up, we also know that we're still pretty bullish. And as you can see, we've done that twice now, and we're about to do it for a third time, but we want to wait for confirmation. Waiting for confirmation is key for an actual entry. But let me show you how you do that with fair value gaps. Again, this video is not on my entire entry model, just the fair value gap side of it, which is only like half of it. If you want my entire entry model, just join the free Discord, link in the description if you still haven't, and then ask any questions. You literally DM me on there, and comment any questions too. I'll be making them on my next YouTube video. So next thing, don't skip the video, stay till the end, watch this. So we are tapped into it. We are rebalancing this imbalance, okay? We're rebalancing this imbalance. What does that mean? I want to see bullish signs to keep going higher. So what are we looking for now on the 4-hour? No closure below, because that would be an inverse fair value gap. An inverse fair value gap is where we get a closure below, and I'll show you that in a bit as well. So on the 4-hour, now I'm waiting for this is the 4-hour candle that I'm going to trade, the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle, okay? Let me drink some water real quick because I'm talking a lot. 10 a.m. 4-hour candle is the one I'm actually going to trade. I want to see it. What do we know from, again, I don't want to dive too deep into my entry model, but what do we know about candle anatomy? Candle anatomy tells us if we're going to open here and we're expecting price to go up here and take out these highs, that's going to be a bullish close, right? That's what we're most likely expecting because we're respecting this level, this gap right here. And we have these highs that are most likely next to be targeted, right? In the trend, in a bullish trend, we're most likely targeting these highs next. We don't know how high past it it's going to go, but we know if we're in a bullish trend, we're going to take out these highs most likely, more likely than not. Okay? So we know that if this next 4 hours is going to print green and take out these highs, most likely than not, this bullish candle first has to put in that lower bottom wick. Because most candles have a wick unless we get a super quick move with no retracement first, which is unlikely, but we're just not going to trade those days. We're not going to trade those setups. If we don't get a setup, we don't trade. So now knowing that we're going to put in a bottom wick, we're going to identify that bottom wick in the lower time frame, heading into the 5 minute. Head into the 5 minute. Let's go to that example right here. Boom. And now we're going to use fair value gaps on the lower time frame. And I have the list right here. Boom. Right there. There we go. We've completed the higher time frame fair value gap for our bias. Amazing. We're respecting off of a bullish fair value gap. So we're just going to be bullish. Next. Also, higher time frame inverse fair value gap, again, just means that if there's a closure on the opposite side of the fair value gap, I'll break that down in a second. But what we're looking for now is the lower time frame fair value gap or inverse fair value gap. So actually, we go down to the 3 minute here. This one happened on the 3. But I'm going to look for these fair value gaps on the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, or 5 minute, up to the 5 minute, okay? So here we actually get a 3 minute gap. Let me draw it out for you. I'm going to delete all this. So again, 10 a.m. opens right here. Y'all can see 10 a.m. opens right here, right? Let me draw it out again. So 10 a.m. opens right here. We want to see that bottom wick get made. We want to see sell side liquidity get taken before we splooge and take movement upwards, okay? So what are we looking for here? We mark out a level of liquidity that's nearby. Boom. Great. Look at that. Now, let me move this actually because we can't see the fair value gap. If I zoom in here, boys, if I zoom in here, on the 3 minute, we have a fair value gap right here. Boom. To this. Y'all see it, right? From here to here. Now, this is a lower time frame one, so I'm going to change the color so y'all can distinguish it better. We're going to make it blue. So the blue fair value gap is a bearish one. Remember from the example from before? Looks like this, bearish. So now we failed to close above it here. I'm looking for an inverse fair value gap now, because this bearish fair value gap is going to cause the wick down on the 4 hour. I'm not trying to trade the wick down. I'm trying to trade that move up. That's where that bread money is at, right? So I'm going to wait for this gap to get invalidated, meaning we close above on the same time frame that it was born in. It was born in a 3 minute time frame. I want a 3 minute candle close above with displacement. Displacement means just strength with strength, okay? So here we displace to the upside 3 nice, strong, girthy, bullish candles, right? Get a close above. Now we have successfully created an inverse fair value gap by just closing above it. That's a bullish sign. Now there's other things I'll look for in my entry model. Again, if you want my entire entry model, join the free Discord down below. Ask any questions you want, but we have a ton of info on there. But now that we got that, we're pretty much good to go. There's other stuff I'm looking for an entry, but you can even enter off of this, like this closure right here on the top of the fair value gap. After we get this candle close, boom, set stops below the last swing low. Target those highs that we were looking for from here, and boy, you got a banger trade. There you go. All right. Always wait for confirmation. This is kind of how we tie in fair value gaps with the higher time frame and the lower time frame, but it's just how I use them. So for my lower time frame entry, I use inverse, and for my higher time frame bias to give me my lower time frame entry bias, I use both higher time frame regular fair value gaps or inverse fair value gaps. So that's pretty much that. That's pretty much wraps it for this video. If you guys enjoyed or learned anything new, please drop a like and subscribe if it helped you out at all. I'm trying my best here to just break down every single confluence. I had some people comment in the last videos that I wasn't breaking it down further enough, but it was a good video anyway, but they want to see more in detail. So I'm trying to go in more in detail here. If you have any other questions, comment them below. Join the free Discord, link in the description of this video, and ask any questions on there. I respond a lot quicker on Discord, so if you want to join that, make sure to do that. And then we also post all our videos there. And I'm losing my voice now because I've been yapping for 14 minutes, so y'all probably had enough of me today. I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.